Okay, so yep, thank you everyone for joining us here. We have our amazing speaker, Ananta Bhatt. She is the GDG organizer and speaker and is also Google's Women Tech Makers ambassador. So as you know, we'll learn about app development using React. So yep, thank you for being here and thank you, Ananta, for accepting to be our speaker, and you can get started now.
No worries. Thank you so much for having me, Sahil. So I'll share the screen. 1 second. This one. Let me know when you can see the screen so that I can get started.
You can see the screen. Yep.
Okay, perfect. Can you see the entire screen or you can see the Zoom?
Yeah, we can see the entire screen.
Okay, perfect. So as you already know, I'm Ananta Bhatt. I am a software developer at Rogers. So I started my journey as a developer about a year ago. So I am pretty much just like you, got done with my studies and got a job last year. So reach out to me whenever you want to build your connections. I have been in your shoes. I've done that, seen it, went through the exact journey that you are going through. So reach out to me, talk to me. Maybe I can help you guide through your career. I can help you maybe make some connections or any doubts that you have. So reach out to me if you have any questions regarding the session as well. Don't hesitate to reach out. You can email me, you can reach out on my LinkedIn page. Anything will do. So yeah, just search Ananta Bhatt and I'll be there on the Google screen. So yeah, don't hesitate. Other than that, I am part of GDG Cloud Thunder Bay community. I'm also a Women Tech Makers, which Sahil already said. A little bit about my community. We are a community in Thunder Bay, which is like way up in the north near Winnipeg. If you guys know of Winnipeg, it is like a very up towards Canada, very cold region. -50 is like nothing for Thunder Bay. So that up in the cold. So this is one of our biggest event that we had. This is actually our first event, and if you have heard of DevFest, this is one of those events which is like very big, and we have speakers from all over the globe come to our session and talk about different technologies. So this is one of those events. I miss those in-person events. I can see that even Sahil has been organizing in-person events, so which is amazing. I have stopped doing that since 2020, I believe, and seeing you guys come in person for the session is just amazing. I wish I could see you guys. I could see your expression and see how this session is actually helping you guys. It would have been a different experience seeing you in person, but definitely it feels like I'm talking to myself actually. But I hope you get the excitement from my voice. So yeah, this is another session that we had. It was a Women Tech Maker event, and it is surprisingly nice to see that a lot of men supported the event and they came up to show the support towards women, which was amazing. Other than that, if you want to learn about my community, you can definitely search on our community page, Instagram, LinkedIn, Reddit. Just search GDG Cloud Thunder Bay. Hopefully, we should be the first one on the link and you'll be able to see us. But if not, community page, Instagram page, LinkedIn, and Reddit is there. Before we jump into the session and talk about React Native, I know that is the most exciting part right now. So before we do that, I actually want you guys to go on Slido so that I can get a sense of how much level of knowledge you have on React Native, and I can, to tune in my talk according to that. So I'll share the code. Give me 1 second. I might be slow. That is all because of the internet. So you can go on slido.com, use this code, and there should be a few set of questions, which just three questions, not even like a load of questions. So just 3 questions. I just want to know what the experience level is of you guys with React Native, and from there we can get started with React Native and building apps and all the excitement. So go on to slido.com or scan the QR code, whichever you're comfortable with. If you were online, I would have said, give me a thumbs up or something, but I literally cannot see your faces. So I assume you show the thumbs up to Sahil, and maybe Sahil can say me that, yeah, it's a go. And we can start with the with the questions and proceed and see how many people know about React and where do we stand with React. So just give a thumbs up. I'm waiting here.
Yeah, we'll give like 2 minutes for people.
Yeah. Okay. Even anyone Zoom also, you can just do a thumbs up or something so that I know that you are. Oh, okay. So people are joining. That is what I can see from here. I don't know if you can see the code. Okay, you can see the code. Yeah. Some experience, no experience. Okay, perfect. No experience. You know what? You can use this as a platform to ask questions. If you have any in the future, you can use this, and we can collect the questions and maybe answer them at the end of the session or whichever is feasible. No experience. I think I got the idea of the crowd. No experience. No worries. We'll start from scratch and learn about React Native. I talk as if I am also learning with you guys. So it will be like a very basic level of talk right now. So okay. Some experience, no experience. Are we done? Minimal experience, but not with, okay. Done? Everyone done?
Everyone's done.
Okay, perfect. So let's jump into React now. All straight into React, full speed ahead. Let's start. So for today, based on the survey, I can see that a lot of people don't know about React, and it might be a beginner course for you. So no hesitation. We'll start as if we are learning code from scratch. I'll explain each and every code that I write. And if you have questions, you can definitely ask. You can definitely ask around as well. Maybe there are people who know more than me. So ask around, ask me, share it in the chats, share it on Slido, wherever you feel comfortable. So today we are going to start from scratch about Expo CLI. Expo CLI is a very basic framework or tool used for beginners like us so that we can learn about building apps using React Native from scratch. We will talk about React Native CLI a little bit, not too much, because I can see the crowd has not that much experience with React Native. So we'll talk a little bit about React Native CLI, but focusing more on the Expo CLI and why it is used and how is it beneficial, installation, configuration, everything from scratch. If you have any doubts or you have fallen behind, I'll definitely share the steps in the chats, or this session is also being recorded, so you can just go back and view the session again and follow along. But if you're stuck, you can just type the question and I can reiterate and say it again, of course. So yeah, if you're stuck, let me know. I can slow down my pace or I can speed up if it is too slow for you guys. So given the knowledge of the crowd, I am assuming that you guys know JavaScript. Yay, nay?
They kind of know about JavaScript.
Oh, okay, JavaScript done. Okay, if you guys don't know about React, it's okay. It's nothing to worry about. We'll anyways look at the code and understand it. So these are the two basics that we need. If you know, you know. If you don't, It's a readable code, so you'll understand it anyway. We are not building any complex apps here. So yeah, we are done with what the agenda is. This was not supposed to come, but anyway. So I've spoken a lot about React Native. Let's look at what React Native is and why is it so famous? Why are people using it? Why do I hear React Native everywhere? Why? Okay, so let's jump into that, right? Now, when you don't want it to work, when you want it to work, it doesn't work. Yeah, okay, cool. So why React and what is React? React Native is a framework that is created to build these mobile apps. It is using JavaScript as the baseline to create these apps, and React Native is basically more, it gives a more native feel. That means that instead of moving in the direction of browser, it gives a feel of more mobile apps. And it uses as a top layer of React JS to build upon. So once you have React Native in place, you can start building these, you can start using these different tools like Expo and CLI client and start building the applications on it. Once you know that, there are certain reasons why the company chooses, or why, famous people like Mark Zuckerberg and so on and so forth use React Native. It is because React Native generates a very common or very simple or single JavaScript file that can be easily shared across the platform. So you can use that JavaScript file on iOS, on Android, and boom, done. So in companies, they don't want to spend a lot, right? They just want one developer which can do the entire work. They don't want 2-3 developers and then that person is doing this person is doing that. Rather, they'll go for one person doing all the job. So React.js, since I said that we don't have to create separate files based off of the platform that we are using. So with React.js, you can have one developer taking care of both the code bases, iOS as well as Android. This is one of the major factors why companies prefer React Native as a tool. So let's jump into React Native. I've told you a lot about React, and it's time to slowly move into the phase of building the apps and getting that energy level into our apps. Before that, these are few of the major apps that use React Native right now: Instagram, blah blah blah, Pinterest, Facebook, Skype, Uber Eats, and all. And there are many more. I don't have to name them. There are many applications that use React Native now. So yeah, so I've been talking about Expo, right? So what is Expo? What do you mean by Expo? Expo is a tool that allows us to build these React Native applications or React Native framework so that we can build the mobile apps on it. Why do you want to use Expo CLI? One reason, and only one reason: it is very good for beginners like us. It is lightweight, it is easier to use, it is a tool that hides all the complexities from the users. We don't have to worry about the complexities. I'm a beginner, I don't want to go into those complex apps. I just want the app to be simple and sweet, easier for me to build, easier to learn, because I'm doing it for the first time. So might as well do something that is quick, easy, and efficient. That's why people usually go for Expo CLI. Now, coming back to React Native CLI, React Native is mostly used to build complex apps. Reason, it has these two files that are very efficient or very predominantly used when building apps on platforms like iOS and Android. Let's look at what. Okay, this is how the project file will look like if you're using React Native CLI. Let me explain you in detail. 1 second. Let me find the highlighter. So yeah, these are the two project folders. that gets created in React Native CLI. If you're using Expo CLI, you won't have these two particular apps. But don't worry, Expo CLI has most of the features that a native application requires. So it's good enough for us beginners, right? We don't need complex apps anyway. We don't want to go in that direction of where we have to learn iOS programming, Android programming, which we have to do for React Native CLI. But with Expo, it is quite simple. You don't have to do it. So that's why people just jump into Expo CLI as a tool. So yeah, these folders are created especially for React Native CLI. For Expo, these are not present. This is a very common file that you'll find in both Expo and React Native CLI. This is a common JavaScript file, and also you can create your own JavaScript file that will be bundled as a single file when you push it to the server or you publish it. So yeah, this is JavaScript. JavaScript, bad handwriting, but yeah, no worries. So yeah, this is there. We have Expo, CLI. Yeah. So let's say I'm not convinced. I still want Expo to have these React Native features. What should I do? You can actually eject or import your project and have these native features injected into your project so that it can build these connections or build these communications to the iOS and Android API. You can do that. You can do that definitely. I'll talk about it once we are there. We have workflows that help us build these two features. It is obviously quite complex. That's why we are not going there. But you can do that. So yeah. Coming to the main part, setup and installation. Assuming that I have nothing installed on my laptop, we'll go from scratch. You can see how I'm doing it. If you're stuck somewhere, if you have any errors, if you're seeing any warnings, let me know so that we can stop and figure it out. So let's get started. How will I share the link with you guys? Is this enough? Can you see the link?
They can see the link, so we'll just give them a few minutes to get started.
Yeah. So I'll also do it with you guys so that if there is an error or exception thrown while downloading.
Can you add it in the Zoom chat, or I can add it? Could you go back to the previous screen?
How can I go in this?
No worries. No worries. I can share it. Oh no.
You just have to search Node.js download.
Yeah, we can
Very simple.
Wait, okay.
Nothing complex. Or just search nodejs.org en download. Oh, someone. Yep. Yep, that's it. So I'm doing it from scratch, download. And then once it's downloaded, open. Maybe it's not. It takes some time. Next. Accept. Next. 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 Install.
Should they download a 64-bit or 32-bit?
Whichever type of Mac or PC they have. So if they have 64, then 64, 32, then 32.
Usually like laptops are 64-bit, so I think you guys can go with 64. And so is everyone done, or do you guys need more time to download? If you need more time, can you raise your hand? Yeah, if you guys are confused and have some questions, just let us know. Okay, yeah, so we can go ahead.
Okay, so once you're done, you should be able to open the command prompt and try running this command node-v. And you should see the version that you have downloaded, 16 point something. If you have a different version, it's okay. One more thing that I can do before I move into this is share the document with you guys so that you know which document and which steps to follow.
Yeah. So can you like add the links to the Slido?
Slido. Oh.
Yep. If you can you try it?
Yeah. I can share the code.
Yeah.
Slido is just slido.com.
No, can you like add the document link to Slido?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, because most of the people like have access to Slido and they can just open it from there.
Perfect. Very good idea.
Yeah. We'll anyway share the link after the meeting in the Discord.
Sure.
But yeah.
All good so far. This event would have been much fun face to face.
Yeah. Okay, so people need a few more minutes, so we just give it 2 minutes.
No.
Okay, yeah, so we can move forward now.
Perfect. So the next step is to install the Expo CLI on your client, on your local PC. So run this command npm. I've shared in the Slido thingy. So if you can just run this command npm I blah blah blah. For Mac, if you're having permissions problem or any other problem, please use sudo. This might take a few minutes. So yeah, give it some time.
Do people in Zoom have any questions? You can speak up right now. Just type it in the chat. Okay. Wait, could you please show the command that you ran?
Yep.
And yep.
npm. Should I send in the chats?
You didn't use npm, right? Okay, yeah. So do npm. Are you using the Node.js terminal?
Yeah.
So okay.
Node.js command prompt.
Are you using the Node.js command prompt? So one person is having an issue with MacBook. They're trying to run the command in the prompt, but it's not working.
Did they try adding sudo in front of
Yeah,
it?
we did try. So
No.
is there a different Node.js terminal apart from the Mac
No.
terminal? Okay. Okay. What else can we try for them? It's saying, let me see, I can try run it again. You can just use up. Okay, just touch. Okay. It's not like that. And now that's right. Okay. So before running this command, do they need to like run some other command?
No.
They can just run it directly in the terminal,
Yeah.
right? Okay, let me see. Try running this same command with sudo. Can you minimize the terminal so that we can see the code? Yeah, so just do npm I G Expo CLI. CLI. Okay, now run it. It should work now. It's loading. Let's see. Okay, yeah, it's working now. Did you raise your hand? You had any questions? Did you use sudo? Oh. Yep. So we'll just give 2 more minutes and we can get started.
Yeah.
Yep, sorry.
That time, other people who are done with this installation, they can start downloading Expo client from App Store.
Okay. So
Because this will take 30 minutes.
Oh.
Or depending.
Yep. So people who are done with the second step can like start downloading the Expo client app from Android store or iOS. Can they download the app on the MacBook App Store or like does it only work on the mobile phones?
Mobile phones.
Okay, got it. Do you know what the Expo client app looks like on
Yeah,
the
I
iOS
can.
store? Because it's not showing up for someone, I guess. Is it is it under productivity tab?
It's not showing for which device?
Oh, no, it's this one. Okay, never mind. Yeah, it's this one.
Oh.
Yep. Thank you for confirming.
No worries.
So is everyone downloading? Okay. Expo client.
This is the one.
Oh, okay. Is it called Expo Go on the? Oh, yeah. Yeah. So apparently, like on the App Store, it's called Expo Go, but it's the same
Yeah.
logo. Yeah. So it's Expo Client or Expo Go. Uh, who is not done? Just raise your hand. Okay. So yeah, we can move forward then.
Perfect. So I know everyone should have VS Code, so I'm not going to say you guys to download it. So for this session, we are not going to look into simulators or having to download Android simulator or iOS simulator. We'll just run our apps through Expo client because it gives a very app-like, mobile-like feeling to us. Once you download the app, you can directly run on your mobile. So it is very easy and it has this mobile feeling to it, which I prefer. I don't like using simulators because obviously it is heavy and it makes my laptop literally get stuck all the time. So I hate using simulators, but in case there are people who want to do it by simulators, you can do it. You can install Android Studio for Android, but please make sure that you install all the associated libraries into it. For React Native, you have your wizard set up properly. You set your Android SDK properly. Once you're done with that, install all the extensions properly and then get started with Android Studio. I cannot guarantee if it will make your laptop get stuck or not. I don't use it personally because I don't want my laptop getting stuck in the middle of a session or I'm working. It's more frustrating when your laptop is stuck during development, so I prefer not doing it. For iOS, you can use Xcode. Yeah, it's very simple. You just install and start running your app on the Xcode. I'm not going to go in the basics or how we do that. It's more of Expo client because it would be easier for you guys, and of course it is easier for me. So let's just go into Expo client. Let's start creating a project now. Hope everyone is excited and ready to get into that creating project mode. You can obviously look at the links that I've shared. It has all the commands already listed. So you just have to copy paste them and start running them in your Node.js command prompt, and at least you'll be able to create a project file. So let's go back to our Node.js command prompt and you type expo init. Let's name our project file name as React Native app. something along that line. Let's go with this. So it's pretty simple. Once you do that, you'll get an options for workflows. Remember in the start, I said you that you do have an option of creating these two iOS and Android folders in Expo as well. This is using these workflows. We'll be using managed workflow because we'll start from scratch and then build upon it. But if you are an experienced developer and you want to develop more complex apps, definitely go for bare workflows, the minimal one, which will have both these folders segregated and you can use them. But for this session, we'll just use blank, the first option itself. So just click enter and it should install everything and keep your project ready for you. Hope everyone is following so far. This will take some time, maybe 2-3 minutes, not that long.
Does anyone have any questions or need any help? Just raise your hand. And for people in Zoom, just raise your voice or like speak and just add something in the chat to let us know.
Installing. Mine is done. Hopefully everyone else is also done. I'll give it a few minutes just in case.
We can move forward now.
Perfect. So let's go into our React Native app, was it? React Native app, yeah. Such an odd name. But anyway, React, okay. The spelling is also wrong. Yeah, React Native app and then code dot, that's it. Code space dot and enter. This will open the code in VS Code. There you go. Hopefully everyone is following till here. Let me
Just give me 2 minutes. Someone has a question.
where is the-
So after like creating the project, you seed it into the React Native app, right? But
Yeah.
if for some reason it's not showing up, working for someone.
Okay. Type CD,
Yep.
R, and then
Yep.
do tab.
Yeah,
And enter.
I think he has the right name, but it's saying no such file or directory. Let me
Um,
see.
it should be CD and okay, you just write the first name of the project and then do tab. It should show some similar file. Maybe the spelling is not right. I'll show you the path maybe. That should help. See users, your user name, and then React.
What's this? Close it. Reopen the terminal. Just close this one. Okay, reopen the terminal. Okay, and CD React Native app. Yep. Oh, it works. It's working now. Okay, now do code. Okay. Okay, he's able to see it into the app, and for Mac users, is the code dot command different because it's saying command not found.
Maybe try adding sudo in front of it. If that also doesn't work, just simply go open your VS, open the folder from files.
Okay, just go to
Easy
VS Code
solution.
and just open the file. Just maximize it and just open a file from here. Yep, open and go to the user and find the React. Yeah, go back. Just go back. No, go back. Just hit that. Hit that again. Hit that again. React Native app. Click on it. Okay, now just open. Just click. Hit open. Okay, and just yes, trust the author. So this is okay. Okay, does anyone else have any issues? Should we move ahead? Okay, yep. So we can go ahead.
Okay, cool. So before we get started, I'll give you an overview of what these files are. So we have assets. In assets, we have, I usually call it the fancy junk folder, wherein we have all these images, audio file, video file, whichever you want, these fancy visuals in here. Then we have the app.js, which I already mentioned is a very basic JavaScript file. Let's look into it, what the code has or what the file has. This is a basic version of code that is already created, auto-created by when you create the application or when you create the project itself. So let's look into it. We have imported React from React. From React Native, we are importing certain components. In React Native, we don't have HTML tags like div or span or anchor or those other HTML tags. Instead, we are using these built-in tags, which React Native already has. These are views, text, further so on, which you'll come to know later on. So view is more like div. I'll explain you in detail once we get into what these components are. But look into the view as div for now, and then we'll talk about it later on. So this project has a function. I usually prefer creating a function. Some people might prefer using a class component. It totally depends. Function is more easier to create, easily readable, easy to function, easy, lightweight. So I usually prefer function, to be honest. So this function has JSX component that is passed into it. So this JSX component consists of view, which I already said it is more like a div component. We have text, which is to display text on the application. I'll show you once we connect the application to our Expo client. I'll show you how it displays the text. So text is just a display message, basically. For our view, we have a style object being passed here. If we come down, a style object is being created here. We are calling the style sheet object, which is calling the create function, wherein we pass certain parameters like container, flex, and background, color, align items, and justify. We'll explain and go into the detail about what these are and what is the functionality later on. So given these, now once you saw this container, flex, background color, this, you must be thinking that these are CSS elements. These are nothing fancy. But no, in React.js, these are not CSS elements. These are viewed as properties that are mapped to the widgets according to the native native tool that we are using. So let's say we have button. In button, this will be mapped. For iOS, it will be mapped as an iOS button. For Android, it will be mapped as an Android button. So similarly, other functions like alerts will be mapped as iOS alert. For Android, it will be mapped as an Android alert. So this is how React Native views these elements as, and these are not classified as CSS elements. So let's start running the code, the most exciting part. Expo start is the command. Let the magic happen. Once we press this, there is no going back. Let me tell you guys. So once you're ready, let me know. Let's just hit and get started. You can see that it links to an address, localhost, so-and-so port number. Let it open and we'll talk about it. This is honestly the most exciting part for me. You can visually see it. Actually, this is the second most exciting. First is something else, which I'll show you. So yeah, the port number will be different according to the machine that you're using. So someone will have some different port, someone will have some different port, which doesn't really matter. So yeah, Metro Bundler, what it is a tool which basically compresses or bundles all the JavaScript that is present in your code into one file. It is because of this Metro Bundler, or also called as packager at times. So yeah, this is what it does. You can run your project into Android simulator. You can run it iOS. You can even send your project to someone, your friend or your professor, your colleague, whoever, XYZ person. Just send the email and they'll receive the application and they'll be able to test it for you or work around or see how the application is and yada, yada, yada. And then you can publish the application into the Expo store. Expo store is what it is called. Like we have Play Store, it is Expo store. Here we can publish it in Expo store. This is not production publishing. It is more of dev publishing. We don't do it. We don't do production here. It is just dev publishing. You can publish it and test it, view it, make changes, publish again, and so on and so forth. If we want to go back into the VS Code, we can see the changes that we make into our app, the previous changes that were made, which we'll see later on. So this is what it does. We have one other feature which is very interesting to me. One second. I'm just trying to, yep. This feature. This is where we actually connect our application with the Expo client that we just installed on our phone. So you scan the QR code and your application will be loaded in your phone. How cool is that? I mean, wow, that is amazing to me. But there are certain things that you need to take care of, because there might be few errors, there might be few restrictions. So you have to have certain set of plan or set of you have to take care of certain stuff. So first is that you should be on similar or same network on your laptop as well as on your phone. If not, there might be an issue. It might say not able to connect or some other error or issue will be there. So it's better to be on the same network, both your mobile and your laptop. Other thing, let's say it is not possible, you're not able to connect and it's still giving you an error. Another option is to just switch to tunnel network, and you should be able to connect. This is the basic one, but yeah. So here in this section, you'll be able to see all the devices that you're connected to. You can have 2-3 devices that you're connected to, and you'll be able to see it here. Once we start connecting our phone to our application, we should be able to see it. Let's start connecting the Expo client with our application now, which is the first part that I was excited about, which this is the one, trust me, you guys. So coming back to the application, I'll try to connect my phone to my laptop so that you can see the phone view. Give me like 1 second. I just have to mirror my phone. Okay. And then I just have to scan the QR code. So you guys can do the same. Just obviously you don't have to mirror it. You just have to scan it. 1 second. This is going to be headache for me. Yeah. You come down here. Now I'm just going to mirror it. Should be able to see in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, 10 seconds. I'll come to my camera, scan the QR code. You can see it says open in Expo Go. It might be Expo Client for you guys. I'm not sure. You have to check Expo Go or Expo Client, one of them. So you click on open in Expo. And this is where the magic happens. This is it. We go back to our, okay, it's building the project. So no worries, no issues till now.
Is everyone able to like connect it and see it on the phone? Just raise your hand if you're having some issues. And same goes for people in Zoom. Just let us know in the chat. Yep, you can go ahead. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, it's still loading. I mean, it's still bundling all the JavaScript and 50. $83, $84. There you go. This is the application. We didn't create anything so far, but this is what the file that has been created. Okay, before we go into that, we can see all the logs here. You can see Ananta is the device that has been connected. If you had like 2 other devices, Android devices, more iOS devices connected to your application, it would have shown here. The best part is, regardless you running it on number of devices, the logs generated will be different for each and every device, and you can go and look into it. So one device may be having different problems. So you just go into the device and you see, okay, this is the issue. You go in different device, you see this is the issue. So this is more like a log where you can keep track of all the issues and errors that you're getting.
I have a question. So when person is like having an error, it's saying that app.js. You need to open app.js for the app to work. So do you know how we can resolve that?
I don't really think this should happen. Is the app.js file created first of all?
Yeah, it
You
is
can check
created.
that out.
Yeah, it is created. I know it's a bit weird.
Oh, which device is that person running on? Maybe we can
He's
check that.
using MacBook and iPhone.
iPhone should not be a problem. I'm doing it from iPhone. Okay, then never mind. Since let's focus on what the issue is.
Working for others? No, you're having some issues? What issue are you having? Could not connect to database. So wait, no. So you try to scan it.
Yeah.
That's weird. It's showing device. Okay. Just move. Can you just move? Sir? Can you go to tunnel? Try tunnel. Okay, and now try rescanning it. Oh, is it failed? Could not connect to that. Okay, go to LAN again and try redoing it now. Just close that app. Just first close that app, just to be sure.
Yeah, good idea.
Is anyone else getting some errors? So like for two devices, it's like, oh, okay, open app.js. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, yeah, we can go ahead now.
Okay. Was this the error?
No, they were having some other errors, but yeah.
Okay, so anyway, coming back, this is the layout that automatically got created when we created the project. So I said you that I would talk about text later on. So this is the text. It just displays text on the application, on the UI of the application. Background is white. Text align, and this is why it is in the center. I don't think I need to explain on why, which side, and so on and so forth. This is there is one other cool thing about this. Let me show you guys. So let's say I'm making a change and I save it. With React.js and Expo client, of course, Expo client is also to be given credit to. So with Expo client also, once we save the project, it will directly get refreshed here and show the change. So let's see the magic. There you go. You don't even have to refresh the application. At times, there are times when we do have to do it. But when the change is small and the connection is good enough, there are times when the connection it gets disconnected. It's probably because of internet, which is most of my issue. So yeah, it's mostly because of the internet, but yeah, nothing to worry about. Let's make the change. Done. So coming back to, let's say you have any errors, how will you manage it? How will you see if there are any errors? Where will the log goes? How will you try to detect it? And so on and so forth. Let's try to do that. One of the ways which I think you should be knowing it is console.log. If not, it's okay. I'm writing it anyway. So console.log app executed or something. You do that. Oh, phone is coming in the way. Let's keep it here. Why is there an error now? Console.log. Oh, it shouldn't be in the return thingy. It should be before, because this only returns JSX properties. How can I even forget this? Oh my God. But anyway, I have done this. Let's Control S. This gets refreshed. Going back to the logs, which we are using node command prompt, node.js command prompt, we can see that the app executed has come here. That means the log, the text that we wanted to see, or if there is an issue, we can see it here that the log has been run through, or the application has reached this part successfully. So this is one of the way. There are more ways, definitely. One other way is to use developer tools in your Expo client and then connect it to your Chrome. Let's try to do that. It's not that hard. It's very simple. So for opening up the developer option in your Expo client, you just have to shake it. In case you're using a simulator or emulator, let's say someone still wants to use Android simulator or iOS simulator, which obviously I'm not against, but I don't prefer. But if you still want to do that, for those you have to use Control plus D, or it's Command plus D. It depends. So it's Control plus D usually, but sometimes it gives it doesn't work in some of the machines. It's Command plus D and then again Control plus D. So it depends. So in your phones for Expo client, you just have to shake it. Yeah, there you go. So once you shake it, you can see options like reloading your application. Like I said, sometimes the connection is not stable, or you want it to manually reload, you can just go reload. And you can disable the fast refresh. Please don't do that. I mean, who doesn't love the application being fast refreshed quickly, right? So if you don't, then you can go ahead and disable it. It doesn't matter. So this is where we are focused at right now, debugging. We are a troubleshooter now. We moved on to the developer phase. Now we are troubleshooting. We'll come back to the developer phase again. Right now we are into troubleshooting phase. So for debugging, we go to debug remote JS. For this, what will happen is your JavaScript file will basically jump on and run into the Chrome. It will run there and you'll actually see where and which line is affecting the execution and where the exception occurs. So once we start this command, you should be able to connect to your Chrome. Before we do that, keep in mind that once you do this, your application will slow down a lot. So it's yes and no for this, but we can try. You never know when you might actually require this. One of the benefit is obviously that you can have breakpoints. You can actually see which line is being executed and where it comes out of the exception. So maybe then you can use this tool, right? So you click on debug remote JS. This should open this URL, localhost, blah, 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 debugger UI. Has everyone reached there? So once you are here, this is not required right now. Okay, let us create a dummy error so that we can actually see the error, right? Let's see, we have a variable. We have not initialized it, and we try to convert this to string. Let's try with that. Once I save it, you will see errors. You'll see over here itself. So look at the screen. Control S. There is an error, right? We can see reading to string has an issue. This is very easy right now because we just have like 20 lines of code. It's very easy. We can quickly say that this is the issue. But let's say you're running a very huge application and you actually don't know where it is happening, right? So you have to run the code line by line to actually find out where it happened and where did the exception occur and where did it fall out. So even though this is there, this might not be that helpful. Okay, one second. This happens when my phone shuts down. But anyway, let's try to reload it and come here and see how the exception occurs on the Chrome. So dismiss this first, dismiss, shake, reload. This is okay. It worked. No issues, my bad. Okay, you come here, you go into your developer tools. Where is it? More tools. Then developer. Too quick. Developer tools. See, this is, you can see on the console itself the issue, blah, blah, blah. This is where it has occurred. 180 line. You can go back and check where it is. Too much of hassle, still too much of hassle. We need more simpler things. We are developers. We want more simple stuff. We actually want the line where it gets, where it causes exception, not just this exception. So let's say I do this. We go here, click pause on exception. Exactly, I want the line exactly where it creates the exception. Where is it? So let's do that. Let's try to run the application again. Dismiss, shake, reload. Too slow. There you go. It's a little too slow. Well, everything is not perfect, right? So, but you can see exactly where it has occurred, exactly the line which caused this exception. Because it, remember the tick mark, the enable thingy that we did, pause on got exception. We got to know that this is the line that is causing the exception. So at least that much is clear. At least we know the line. Now we just have to figure out why it is happening. So let's say we had 2-3 values of X being submitted or changed or modified somewhere in the code, and you want to keep track of all these changes, all these values that are getting changed of X. You can have watch being generated. You can define, or not define, but more like, I'll show it instead of me saying it. I might as well show it. You can have your X being watched so that whenever the value gets changed, you can keep an eye on the X, right? You don't want it to change. So yeah, now you can keep an eye on the X. It's undefined. Let's say it was getting changed. You can quickly say, oh, it's 2 now. It shouldn't be 2. It should be something else. So yeah, you can do that over here in Chrome. Another thing that you can do, which I mentioned earlier, was having breakpoints. I believe you should be familiar with that. You can create breakpoints and see exactly where it is happening and how the line executes step by step. You can go do that. This is another thing. I think you should be knowing that. This is like very basic, but if not, oh, there you go. Laptop, this phone got disconnected. I spoke too much. That's why the phone was like, too much lecture. Okay, never mind. I'll connect it again. Do it all over again just for you guys. Where is it? Oh, 1 second. I'll mirror it again. And then let's start over. Hopefully it works now. Obviously it will. Why not? Expo client. Why is it red? This is what happens when you debug in Chrome. It's all because of Chrome. I think I should stop the debugging. Maybe start over Expo. Yeah, see, I have to switch off the debugger. Let's check, stop, and the app will be fine. So you got the gist of it, right? You can pause when you want the exception to be caught to know exactly where it is being called, which line is affecting it. Take notes on the value that gets changed. Dive into the step and look into the code step by step and try to follow along and see if where exactly the issue has been created. So you can do that with Chrome, and this is I don't know if you guys knew of it, but if not, well, you learned something, right? So let's go back. Let's fix the code. Oh my god, I cannot see errors. Let's fix it. Let's fix it. So let's remove this. Let me bring back the application. Let me pin it. Right now I did not save it, so you can still see the error. Let's do the magic. Control S, and hopefully it should. This is the worst part. I missed the magic. Anyway, Control S again. What? Now what is the issue? Render error. Yeah. It's just giving me hard time. Anyway, fixed everything. Everything is good as new. Once this is done, there is one other way which I believe we guys would have preferred because we are developers. Why would we go here and there for debugging, right? We just do it on the tool. We just come here, start our debugging, fix it, done. But for some special people who don't like using it on these editors, they can definitely do it on Chrome. There is absolutely no problem. So for doing it on VS Code, there is some extra steps required. You have to first create launch JSON file. So it says, okay, before doing that, there's two more steps. You have to install some certain extensions. React Native Tools is one of them. Install it and enable it. So I'll let you have 2 minutes to do that. React Native Tools and full stack. No, where is this? Yeah, React Native full pack. So few minutes.
Yep, we can go ahead.
Okay, perfect. So we come here, we create the launch JSON file. Once you have enabled these two libraries, you should be able to see React Native here. Make sure you have them enabled. You disable this attached to packager. Honestly, this is the only one I'm familiar with. So that's why we are doing it attached to packager. So let's do that. Enter. So directly creates one of the configuration, but in case you want to add more configuration, you just go here down, add configuration. React Native, attached to application, classic application, and I usually do escape. So it creates one more copy of the exact same configuration, but you can make changes into it. You can obviously manually add in the parameters that you want. This will be very useful when you start doing your Android programming, iOS programming. You can easily add those configurations in here. So that is all we have to do for launch JSON file. That's it. It's nothing rocket science. You go back in your file, you can see it is created here. Where is that? App.js. Close this, close this. Did I not save it? Control S. Control S. Done. So we come back to run and debug. We click we check which configuration you want to run on. You might have Android configuration, iOS configuration. You select that and start running. I am not going to do it because I know my laptop is going to get stuck. So if you, I would probably say don't do it right now. It's not a necessity. Let's build the app. That is more of a priority right now. This debugging is very easy. You just run and you check where the issue is, and then you have breakpoints and all. It's similar to what we did in Chrome, so it's not that difficult to do. So let's look into creating our app, because I guess you guys might be hungry, right? I am hungry thinking about pizza, so you guys must be like super hungry. If not, okay, uh, thumbs up. You guys are very studious. And I'm humbled with your presence, given that you are here learning from me. So yeah, coming back to the application,
Yeah.
let's.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yep. As you're over by 30 minutes, so if you could wrap it up in, so that would be good. Sorry.
Yeah, I'll quickly just show like 2-3
No, that's
components.
good. Thank you.
No worries. That's why I was like, oh my god, people would be like super hungry by now. So yeah, if nothing works out, I'll share the link for these components. Please make sure that you try it at home, because you have reached so far. You have connected all the tools, required tools and everything. So might as well give this a try. Control C. Where is the charts? React. Should I? I'll put it in Slido. Hopefully people see it, and this is where you can see all the components. I'll quickly finish it. This is where you will see all the components. You have APIs. Depending on the components, we'll have props. I'll tell you more about props. I don't know when. Maybe right now, if we get time. Let's just jump into it. One of the component is view, which I already talked about. View. Let's look at how we do this. Let's remove this. Control S. We can see that it jumps here. So that is the reason why it was placed over there. But given that you want the title to be on the corner and not somewhere in the middle, right? You want it to be like a header or title or something. So we have another component called safe area view. Safe area view, you can just simply Control C. Oh, okay. One more trick to make changes simultaneously in both the sites. It's called multi-editing cursor. You do Control D. So both of them are highlighted. I'll select this. Control V. Both of them are changed together. Control S. and you have a padding, and it is not on the top or completely off the border. Another one is image. Let's look at image. Image would be like super cool. Make sure that you have these components capitalized. The first letter should be capitalized. I did that mistake and I was like, why is this issue there? And I couldn't figure it out. And later on, I was able to figure it out. So you should have seen image src in React Native. It is source instead of src. So you do src and then request. Request single sets dash. Which one should I use? Which one should I use? Icon. This is icon. Never mind. So we are not going to add anything in between the image. It is just going to be the image itself. So we do that. What is the issue? Cannot find image. Okay, I did not import it. This is always the case. Always make sure first thing you do is import everything and then start building on it. Import it, Control S, and one more issue. Request is not there. Is request or it's not request, it is require. There you go, it's required, my bad. Control S. It stopped it. I have to refresh it. See? There you go. This is the image, which is obviously not that fancy. But anyway, this is the image. So for image, you can either attach your local images, or you can also do it via URL. You can paste the URL directly and have your image linked into your app, which would be a better case because it will make your application or project more lightweight. If you use non-static images, it will definitely make your application more heavy, and it will unnecessarily weigh down on your application performance. So do avoid doing that. Other than that, let's try doing the URL one. This is one of the URL. It generates random images. So let's try with this one. Better go. Require URI. Remove this. Add in here. Space. So when you import it from your URI, you paste it using your URL or something, you have to specify the height and width because React Native is not able to understand where to place this image. So please do that. Height, assuming 200, too much. Width of height, HEIGHT, VITTH, 200, 300, whatever, doesn't really matter. We do that. Control S. Laptop. Okay, cool. Even the person is working as us. Image. So this is how you do your images. Make sure that they are lightweight. Otherwise, they'll unnecessarily have your application slow down. So do that. Which other issue? We can do touchables. Touchable. Well, let's do touchable without feedback first. Without feedback. Oh. We'll have it wrapped around the image. Touch without feedback on press. Console.log image pressed. Honestly, this is not idle. You shouldn't be adding conditions in the JSX. You should rather create a constant. I'll create a constant. Handle press. Remove this. Paste it over here. Call in your handle. Close your touch without back. Oh, please. Why is it giving an error? Image. I didn't close this. Now I have to remove this. There you go. Control S. Okay, so now with touchable feedback, touchable without feedback, once you touch the image, you won't receive any feedback on the UI itself, but you can see it definitely on your console. You can see that someone has pressed the image, which can be useful at times. You want to see how the user is behaving and how they are interacting with your application, and you can have these hidden without feedback placed in your application and see which is one thing that the user is more interested in. So I'm interested in the, I don't have to do it from there. I have to do it from the phone. You do this, you go back, you see image press. I did it twice, so image has been pressed. Another can be touchable opacity. I just have to do blah, 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 done. See, Control S, and it should be done. With opacity, my bad. And now it is, yeah, cool. Control S again. This field. Oh, not from the, I don't know why I'm doing it from the mirroring. I have to do it from the phone. You do like that and you can see that it blinks. It gives this, it reduces the opacity of the image and it displays the background also a little bit. So this is the feature of opacity, which can be a cool thing. Where would it be used? That I leave it up to your imagination. I'm just a coder, not a designer. So yeah, these are few of them. There are more. Button. Let's look at button quickly. Button, where should I place? Maybe below the image. Button. Let's have a title. Hey, click me. Color. Blue. On press. I know I'm doing the condition here. Don't come after me. Console.log button pressed. And I have to move this. Button pressed. And then you close the button. You closed it. Control S. You can see it here. It is blue in color. I'll click again from this. Oh my god, the third time. Click from here. You go back here. Button has been pressed. This is the last one, I promise. This is, you just replace the console log and have alert place over here so that once you press the click me, you get an alert instead of nothing, right? So you get an alert. So in React Native, as I said, this alert will be mapped as an alert for iOS. In iOS, for Android, it will be mapped as alert for Android in Android. So when you do that, you get an alert. The the feature is different when you do it for different tools and applications. This is the feature of React Native View. For Android, for iOS, it will act as an iOS. When you do it in Android, you will have a different alert, which you Android people would know. So, oh, again, never mind. This is the last one. Done for the day. Any questions? Any concerns? Any feedback? Any thoughts? I hope I'm not on mute. Am I?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry. I was just having some microphone issues. Yep.
No worries.
So do you guys have any questions in person? Any specific or general questions?
Right.
And people in Zoom, do you have any questions? Just let us know in the chat, yes or no. Just type in yes or no if you don't have any questions. And let's see. No, okay. So thank you so much for the session today. It was really helpful, and especially for
No
beginners.
worries.
We really learned a lot, and hopefully they can use this knowledge and move forward and build their own apps from this. Yep. Thank you so
Yes.
much for the presentation. It was really helpful.
Thank you so much for having me, Sahil. You have done an incredible job with your community. I can see that people are joining in for sessions even at this hour, which is amazing.
Yep.
So
Thank you. Thank you so much.
kudos to whoever showed up. I think you should pat yourself how dedicated you guys are.
Yep. We went like 30 minutes overboard, but we still have like some people here. They were quite dedicated and we're working on it. So kudos to
That's
them.
amazing.
Yep. So
That's amazing.
yep. So we are done for today. Thank you. And just for information, are you guys on Discord, GDSC Discord? Okay, so I can just share the link for the Discord, and the USC people, do you want to share the link for the Discord? Okay, so I'll share my link tree. Just give me a minute.
Yeah.
I'll just share the link tree here. What? Do you have the link tree? Yeah. I could probably just do the Discord link. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I can add that in my Discord. So if you go to like link tr, so if you go to like link tr.ee and then slash GDSC hyphen UMN-TC. So this is the link tree, and it has linked to all our social media accounts. And so tomorrow there's a Midwest Dev Fest. So Dev Fest is like multiple speaker sessions from around Midwest, and people will be presenting about Flutter and React and stuff. So you guys can RSVP for that. So if you guys go to this link and join the Discord, in the announcements, I added the link for the Dev Fest. And I'll add all the resources and the recordings in the Discord. Yep. Yep. So these two are the links, and yep. Thank you for showing up, and thank you, Ananta, for this.
Thank you.
We really
enjoy your pizza.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Take care.
Bye.